everyone, welcome back to the Going Zero Waste YouTube channel. I'm Catherine Kellogg and I am happy to be back with my first video in a little over a month, 15 ways to reduce money on your electric bill, specifically the kitchen and bathroom. I took a bit of a break. There was a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, and if you haven't been able to tell by the new scenery, I have moved. So there's just a lot going on with my landlord, unfortunately. And then I just had a lot of other personal life things happen, which have kept me from creating a lot of content. And also I'm still trying to find a good rhythm and routines and trying to get back into the swing of work after being out. And yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on. But this post today, we're talking all about 15 ways that you can save money on your electric bill. I've been doing this recent series over on my blog called Save Money, Save the Planet. And it's all about ways you can save money on your water bill, save money on your electric bill, save money by going zero waste, because there are a lot of savings that are involved in eco-friendly living. And I don't think they're talked about nearly enough. And especially as someone who is pinching pennies right now, and I'm sure many of you are probably pinching pennies too, why not save money and save the planet, right? I think that's great. So if you're interested in this series, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button and press that big red subscribe button to be notified when new videos like this are coming out. And let me know what you want to see next. If you want to see a part 2 for more ways to save money on your electric bill, or if you're interested in jumping on over to the water bill. Let's get into it. So up first, the fridge. The fridge is a huge part of your electricity bill. On average, 13% of your electric bill is all energy being sucked up by your fridge. And if you listen, I don't know about you, but I can hear my fridge running in the background. So here are a few ways that you can reduce energy just on your fridge. If you have an old fridge from the 80s or the 90s, honestly, upgrading to a newer fridge is going to save you a lot of money in the long run, especially because a lot of states have rebate programs where you can get money in return for upgrading your fridge, because it is honestly that much of a power hog. In the comparison I did, a fridge from the 80s is going to cost you around $500 to $600 a year to run, where a newer fridge is only going to cost you $300 to $400 a year to run. So you're actually going to be saving a substantial amount of energy. Now, I'm definitely not one to recommend replacing items all willy-nilly, so I'm not trying to encourage any consumption on that level. I just want to bring up the facts that you will definitely be saving a lot of energy and money on your bills in the long run, especially if you can take advantage of some of those rebate programs. But here are some other ways that you can lower your energy bill when it comes to your fridge. Up first, obviously, just keep the fridge door closed. Every time you open it, all that sweet, cool air escapes. And then room temperature air goes in. And then every time you close the door, the fridge has to power up to keep everything cool again. Up next is to actually keep your fridge and freezer pretty full. You don't want it absolutely stuffed, but you also don't want it completely empty, because the more space you have, the more air is there. So every time you open it, the more cool air goes out. If the power goes out and you have a half full freezer, the food will stay good for up to 24 hours. If you have a full freezer, the food will stay good for up to 48 hours. The more you have, the easier it is just to keep everything cold, because there's less air circulating. Next tip is to turn the ice machine off. So if you remember earlier when I said that the fridge is responsible for 13% of your electric bill, it jumps to 20% if you keep your ice maker on. So simply turn your ice maker off, fill up your own ice trays. What I like to do is, this is the first time I've ever had a fridge that produces ice. My next tip is to keep your refrigerator coils clean. So you should be cleaning your refrigerator coils every 6 months. And if you have a husky like I do, who sheds everywhere and tons of hair gets everywhere, should probably be cleaning it more often. Probably once a season, I need to make sure that I'm pulling the fridge out, vacuuming the coils, keeping them clean. When the coils get clogged, they can't properly release heat. So the compressor is having to work overtime, which can actually shorten the lifespan of your fridge. So my next tip is simply a money-saving hack. It really doesn't have anything to do with the environment, but that's that you should simply run your dishwasher or your washing machine in non-peak hours. So typically electric companies charge during peak hours, which are 4 to 9 p.m. So if you operate your appliances after 9 p.m. or earlier in the morning, let's say before you head to work or right as you get up, you run the dishwasher, you're gonna be saving money simply because you're gonna be using electricity at a cheaper and lower price point. Okay, my next tip is to run your dishwasher full. Run your dishwasher at full capacity, because if you're going to be using the electricity and you're going to be using the water, you might as well get as many things clean as you possibly can. The same thing goes for your washing machine. Make sure that you're running your washing machine completely full. And if you do have a smaller load, oftentimes laundry machines do have the option to match the water level for a light load, a medium load, or a heavy load. But you're still going to be using around the same amount of electricity. So my theory is put it all in, run a high load, get all the savings at once, save it all up, use it all at once. Now, this goes for your hot water heater as well as your dishwasher, your clothing. Run these things on cold if you can, if you don't need to sanitize. If you need to sanitize, you should bump the temperature up. But also, hot water heaters typically have water set at around 140 degrees, which is not really necessary. So you can turn your hot water heater down so that way it runs for 120 degrees. And you'll still have just as hot of showers, but you'll be saving quite a bit of energy. My next tip is to air dry your dishes. So a lot of dishwashers have a power heating air dry setting. So after they're done, the air dryer kicks on, you pull the dishes out, they're dry, right? So instead, turn that off and then just open the dishwasher so air can get in and air can naturally dry your dishes over time rather than having to heat things up. Heating up your oven and your stove can take a lot of energy. So using microwaves and toaster ovens or toasters, especially if you're heating up something small, is actually better for the environment than it is going to be using your full oven or your full stovetop. As well, make sure that you're matching your pans to your burner. If you're using a pan that is 2 inches smaller than the burner, you're actually going to be wasting up to 40% of the heat and energy, which is crazy. So save that money, use the right size burner. And then one of my favorite tips, which is perfect because my husband is such a picky eater, is to simply chop your vegetables smaller. So I found that I can get him to eat more vegetables the smaller the vegetables are, because then they kind of just blend into everything and they're not as distinguishable. So smaller vegetables cook faster, which is great, save energy, save money, and help picky eaters get those veggies. And then I read this really fun experiment which actually compared all of the different ways that you can make coffee. They found that the most eco-friendly way of brewing when it comes to energy consumption also happens to be the least wasteful way of brewing coffee, which is with, of course, my favorite thing, the French press. If you've been following my channel for any extended period of time, you know that I'm obsessed with my French press because you can brew for coffee, you can brew for tea, and you can even use it as a strainer for things like homemade nut milks, which I think is amazing. I think I might do a part 2 of this because honestly, I have so many more tips. My blog post on the kitchen has 17 tips. My blog post on the bathroom has 15 tips, and I haven't even tackled the rest of the house. So if you're interested in learning more about all of these ways you can save money on your electric bill, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd be more than happy to oblige, and I look forward to being back on YouTube in my new space. I'm going to be doing a house tour, and as you can see, that one plant back there is looking really sad. It's sad. It got hurt in the move. I lost a lot of leaves. But as you can see, there is some new growth happening on it, so I have hope and faith that it will heal in time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Press that big red subscribe button to be notified when new videos are coming back, and I will see you in the next video.